Okay, so I guess we can start streaming for today. I guess we're making like a bit of a futuristic looking bridge that's gonna fit nicely with the superhero theme we have going on for the which month is it, for March. So hopefully we manage to create something awesome. So let's just go ahead and create some template blocks which we can use later to build our bridge. So let's just create some PXMs, and I think I need like a pillar. That's definitely gonna be one of them, and let's also load our palette, the extended one, so we have some more colors, and then we can just duplicate it so we have all the parts we need, I guess. So our, I guess, path or road, it would be called road. That's also what we need, and let me just think. Perhaps some guarding rails, or what would you call that? I guess rails. Sure. So let's see, our pillars. So this bridge is gonna be quite big, and I'm just hoping that my computer doesn't completely lag with everything that's going on, because streaming takes some resources as well. So let me just think. Maybe if we do it like 2x2 blocks might be even quite a large base, and also my middle mouse button is sometimes screwing around a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't turn out to be too big of a problem. So if we just make it a 2x2 cube, we can probably start working with that. Now let me just pick a color that we want to use, and perhaps we can try with something like this. And of course we need to adjust our points, so let's move it up a little bit more. Okay, so you'll soon see why we need to have it up here, and now we can fill this in. Okay, and let's try to make some pillars. So I don't think I can rotate root, so I'm just gonna name our first node base, and then just add pillars to it. So pillar 0 is gonna be attached to this. And it is quite a large block, so perhaps we can reduce it, make it a bit smaller. So maybe if we make it like 1x1 block maybe, and too tall, that could also work out. We'll see how everything turns out. So let's just move it. Now let me just think a bit how wide we want to have that. So so this is like one block in between two, or actually that's 3 blocks, and now it's 5 blocks, so I think that should be enough. Let me just align it nicely and then just move it up so its bottom is at 0 y coordinate, And now let me just think how long do we want this bridge to be. So it's gonna be like cars or people are gonna travel from this point like across. So this should be the narrower side and here is gonna be the wider side. So here we have like 2.5 blocks. So let's see. Now we have 2.5 as well here, but we might as well make it even a bit longer. And probably our bridge is not gonna start here, it's gonna extend a little bit more outwards, so it's gonna be even wider. So probably something like this, so we have 7 blocks between the pillars on the wider side and 5 blocks in between on the narrower side. And now what I wanted to do was just create a child node, name it pillar 01. And so it's the first segment of our 0th pillar. And now we move it up to 46. And now I just wanna rotate it. And of course we should have put the pivot point to the bottom right, so just to the bottom of it, so to the 0 coordinate. And now we have to move the whole thing down again. So let's move it down. Whoa, how did we get into negatives? Okay. And now it's nicely on the ground, and now what we can do is we rotate it like for 5 degrees here and 5 degrees there, and we'll get some slope, I guess, or some curvature going on with our pillars, so it looks like some kind of a modern architecture. And I'm not really sure which I prefer right now, whether I should keep it at 10 degrees or just 5. Probably we should add another segment to it and we'll see how that turns out. So that's going to be P02. Let's stick to our naming, and we can just attach it back, and we have an extension, but we have some problems due to overlap here. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem at the final revision, but just some slight... You can probably see it. I mean, if you zoom it in, it's not as problematic, but otherwise it can appear a bit weird. But as long as it's the same color, I don't think it's gonna stand out too much. And we can probably just duplicate this pillar and move it to all the other corners where we need to put it. And another nice thing here is now that when you duplicate it, it adds these ones next to the name, so they are actually unique names and not just two assets with the same name, which causes problems when you try to animate it. We're not gonna animate this one, so don't worry, but if we wanted to, it could spell some problems for us. So we have our 5 blocks in between here, and now let's duplicate this one again, so it's pillar 2. Let's see how this goes. So it's 2 in the brackets, and let's move it here. So 1, 2, 3, something like this, right? Of course, no, it should be like here. Now let me just rotate it. by 90 degrees, and we have 3.5 in one direction, 3.5 in the other direction. Okay. And now let's duplicate this one as well. So we can name it pillar 3. And move it down to -112. And then we rotate it. And perfect. Okay, so these are like the 4 pillars our bridge is gonna need for support. And now let's try to make the road, so we get some feeling what that's gonna look like. And here we already know that it needs to be 5 blocks wide, so 5 times 32. Let's see, 4 times is 128, right? So 160. And how thick do we want that to be? I guess bridges are quite thick, so we can leave it at 1 block. And we could extend this even a bit further. Let me just check how long our whole thing is gonna be. So this is 5, 6, 7, so if it's 9 blocks, we can make them like 3 blocks long and just put them one next to each other. So for our pavement, I'm just gonna take this color, and we need to use the, what's this called? Create mode instead of paint mode. Okay. And also let's recenter our point of pivot. So it's at 80 and 48. Just whoop, come on. Okay, perfect. Now let's add to our base another child node, and let's name it road. And we add our road, which is oriented incorrectly. So let's go back to our model and just rotate it around y-axis. So, okay, now it's oriented correctly. And actually, well, we'll see how it turns out. So let's create a child node, road 0, 0, I guess. We could have also duplicated it, so let's just delete this one. Duplicate our node, name it R00, attach it to its parent, and then move it 96 voxels into that direction. And now that I see that it lines up nicely with this, I think we can just duplicate it and name it R01 and do it again. Though, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this is too long. I don't think it has to be, so I just duplicate this node now and name it R01. Oh, R10, excuse me. And then we put it here to -64 and rotate it for, well, not 64. We need to move it a bit further out, actually. Is 96 the magic number? Okay, 96 makes it work out, so that's good, that's good. And now if we just lift it off the ground, maybe like 1 block of space in between. So it lines up, the top of the road lines up with the top of our bottom pillar segment there. So that's something. And now for the rails, I'm not entirely sure how I want to do them. So let me just think for a second. Okay, maybe we can create some segments and figure it out then. So let's make everything a bit smaller, maybe like 8 by 8. And then fill this in. Move our pivot point to 4. And I think it's best if it's at the middle. Because we're gonna try to make some quite interesting shapes for at least for the Sandbox universe, which mostly consists out of blocks, so hopefully I don't mess it up. And then let's see, do we want another, like a separate node, or should we just attach this to some other stuff? Maybe we can do another child node of base. So creating a child node, name it Rails 0, and is darker yellow than the other one. Let me just check that. Okay, this is the middle one up there. And what's up with this one? Okay, so we need to recolor it. If we could make it work, okay. Now, so Rails 0. And let's move this up a bit to like, I don't know, 80 at least, and then move it outwards. So let's see, we want to have it at the middle of this one, so that's probably 96, I'm guessing. There are just some numbers that tend to repeat. Okay, and it is a bit short segment, right? So because I'm a lazy person, let me just extend its length so we don't have to place as many of them. And also, since our pivot point is not centered, we should also offset it by 32. So now it's actually centered in between the columns. And now what we can do is create a child node, name it. Oh, so we have road and rails. That's unfortunate. We can't use R for both. So let's name them RA and then just continue using our numbers. So we move it to 64. And then if we do like 5 degrees here and 5 degrees here, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Interesting. And now if we create another child node for A01, well, RA01 should actually be for Rails. Let's rename it to RA00. I guess. Oh my god, I'm horrible with this naming thing. So let's extend this out as well to 64. Let's see if we can make it work with this. Oh, it's sticking out here. So we need another rail. Rail S. So it's short, and this one is gonna be just 32. So it's 1 block long. So it hopefully doesn't stick out on the other side. Okay. And now let's try to do again 5 degrees here, 5 degrees here. And I think if we move this a bit more inwards, I would like it to finish like around the center of this, and we can help ourselves even a little bit by making some lines so we can see where the actual middle is. So let me just draw them. Okay, we got them here, and let's see if I can get it nice here as well. So I guess this comes white at the middle of it. And also let's see if we zoom in, are there still some legs? They don't seem to be, but it's just some weird stuff going on around here, but we'll see what we're gonna do about that later. So let's create another child node, name it array01. Now that name is finally appropriate, and I think we actually have to rotate it like by 90 degrees, and now do it like 5 and 5 degrees upwards, like so. And then let me just try this out. If we duplicate this one, RA00010, and attach it to this one, yeah, it's actually fine. We just need to adjust our rotations into the other direction, and it's already sloped upwards, so that's nice. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with this slope and slope of this rail, I guess. And I think we can add another one a bit higher up. So let's try and duplicate it to rails 1. And since this is actually parallel with the ground, we can just move it upwards to, like, how high do we want this to be? So this is at 80, and if there was like one block in between, that's like 112, right? So like something like this. And I want to keep this upward slope the same, but we want them to finish a bit more outwards. So if we do here additional 5 degrees and here, whoops, that's too much. So let's try if we can do it like 7.5. And here as well, 7.5. Perfect. And yeah, it might be a bit trickier for the other side because or wait, so if we deduct like 2.5 degrees, that would mean like 172.5. Right, okay, so this still works, and well, we can do it here, right? So we would need 52.5. Okay, perfect. I think that works out, and let's just extend it a little bit so it doesn't so we don't get this little thingy there. I don't think we need much, just like I don't know, 34, or actually not, yeah, it's on the small one. Oh my gosh, I'm tilting. Okay, so it goes nicely into the side. Okay, so that looks good. And now let's try to duplicate them and move them all the way to the other side. So duplicate node, name them Rails 2, and then move them from -92 to +92, and then just rotate them by 180 degrees. And we have a slight problem. Since our pivot point is not in the middle, we need to move it to -32, I think. Let's try to do that. Oops. Okay. We got it to 32. And then do the same thing for the top one. So let's duplicate our node, Rails 3, move it to 92, okay, and rotate, come on, okay, and adjust, so -32. Okay. Hi, bike pack. So let's see. Now we can get rid of these lines. Oh, oops. Okay. So now let's see what do we want to do with this bridge. So probably we can make some indentation at the bottom. So let's see, we want to mirror over the z-axis or the z-axis, whatever you want to call it. So we can also just make our size smaller so it's easier to work with, and we can turn on our nice edges so we can see where the boundaries are. And since this is 8 voxels tall, we can remove like bottom 4, and it mirrors to the other side, and then we can just color them with a darker we can color them with a darker shade of gray. Oh, and yeah, it doesn't hurt if you scale them back up before checking out what the finished result looks like. Okay. Another thing I'd like to add is some lines at the side of the road, and these are gonna be wider as well, so let's halve our size, just do it like so. And we'll probably have to do something with these finish segments or segments at the end, so they don't look wonky. But we can do that later, so no biggie. Like so. And maybe maybe we can even add some textures to our road. So maybe or that how big do we want them to be? So let's see if this is wait, it's 16 tall and 48 long, right? So and that's half size. Oh my god, that's a huge that's a huge thing. Okay, so let's see, that's divisible by 8, right? So if you do like every 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, another one here. Okay, we still have our mirror going on, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, did I miscount? Okay. Okay, they're all they're all right. I mean, they're all right. So let's scale it up. Let's check it out. Okay. Okay. We could add some highlights here, like brighter line here. Oh, and we need to turn off our mirroring now. And let's just see if that works out for all the parts. Wait, this one is rotated incorrectly. Ugh. Let's see, so we would have to reset every... wait. Okay. Oh, so that's why it's... that's annoying. Okay. We can just cheat a bit and duplicate the rail into rails 0 and just flip it over the which is that axis, the blue one, the Z, right? So if we attach it to these nodes here, okay, and here as well. Okay, so this side is more or less done, apart from the smaller segments, and let's do the same thing here, where these two are missing, or they're not actually missing, it's just on the other side, right? So here as well. And now all we need to do is do it for the small parts, and now I'm just wondering if I'll have to do the same trick for the smaller ones, or will that suffice? So let's see. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I can't use the shortcuts again. Okay. Okay, and we come to the same problem here as well, so let's just duplicate it, rail 0s, and flip it over the blue axis, which is called Z, or Z, as you have heard before. Do it here as well, and do it on the other side also. So here, And here. Okay. Let's save everything. I'm actually quite surprised I haven't thought of that before, but it would be a shame if everything crashed. Oh my god. That would be a shame. So let's do the same thing for our shadows, and apparently we messed up something with the... Well, I have no idea what we messed up, but the shortcuts aren't working again, so we have to keep moving our pivot point. Okay, here they work. That's good, I think. Oh, well, okay. And nothing is working as I want it to. It's a shame, it's a shame. No worries, we'll make this bridge. And now I think I'm kinda getting married to the idea of this yellow color, even though it could be practically any other color, but yeah. Sure, at least I acknowledge it. And that's something, I guess. Now let's see what else we can do with this road. So, is this not work? Okay. We just need to change our tools. Okay, and maybe we can do like symmetrically here, and we should also turn on this, right? Okay, so it mirrors to the other side, and we'll just use the face fill at the end to make sure. Like here are two missing, but now we click. Okay, here they are. And we didn't mirror the other thingy, so let me just do this. Okay, now it's mirrored. Awesome. Perhaps we could do like some kind of a steel beam or something at the bottom. Even though jet fuel doesn't melt them, we can still make them, right? So let's see. Let's make some chunky beams. They need to support a lot of weight. Something like this, I guess. And then we want that to be symmetric from both sides. So, kind of hoping this turns out well. Let's see. We do something like this. How is it gonna turn out? Here and oh my gosh, that's literally perfect. Okay, that's awesome. I was kind of worried it wouldn't work out as intended, but we can make them even slightly thicker. Now I'm just thinking if whether shouldn't we... Okay, we'll just color it in with a darker shade, even though it's not on this side here. We can still use the top one. top shades of gray. Okay, so this one is around 50, so we need to find the darker one, and this one is like the same one, so we need to use even darker one. I'm not sure if I like it to be that dark. Let's just keep it like so. Zoom out and check it out. I don't think there's anything wrong with this grays. I would only like to add like some kind of a support thingy here. So we got 70 and 50. This is 63. Let's see what we can do. We do it like this. No. I think it should actually be something like this. I hope this looks good. We zoom out. Like so. Though it could be darker. That's really tricky. Or, you know what, we could do it with this color, right? We still have this color to work with, or even perhaps one shade darker, right? So since it's in the dark, perhaps something like this. Let's see. That water is like the best water when you're thirsty as a... well, let's not swear on the stream. At least let's try to avoid it as much as possible, right? I'm still not really satisfied with how this turns out. So I guess I'll just keep trying for a minute or two, and we'll see if we can figure out something better. And if not, we'll just leave it as it is. There's not really... there aren't really many other choices besides that. And perhaps we can add like some screws or something that would hold these parts together. Now something like this, and here as well. So let's zoom it out. It's interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's interesting. Okay. Now we have to think of some stuff to do here, or even just some like just some brighter and darker dots. So it's like concrete or something, and it has like a little, I don't know, stones or pieces of sand or something. This one is quite dark, at least it feels quite dark to me. Though it might be just my perception. And perhaps hue. And everything should be mirrored on the other side. Okay, that's good. Okay, and we got like this simple pattern going on all the way from one side to the other. And now, as long as we do it on the outer side of this line, whatever it's gonna turn out to be, I think we should be fine if we mirror to the other side, because there is enough space in between, so it's not as apparent that we're cheating a bit. But otherwise we would have to do it twice. So just something like this. And now I was thinking of incorporating like some kind of yellow on the top as well. So I have yet to decide if I want to put it on the inner or the outer side, but let's try it with the inner side, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay. Okay, let's check it out. That looks kind of cool. Okay, and perhaps we can leave the middle section without like these textures, so it's like more apparent where the actual path is going, and this is like just some side decorations or something, I don't know. And I was also thinking about making some kind of a decoration here at the top. So let me just oh, we could do like a dome, or well, not a dome, a sphere, right? So let me just duplicate this pillar and name it sphere. And of course, let's not make it too detailed, because that's gonna take a lot of faces. Now let's well, not duplicate it, but mirror it on all the axes, so we actually have to only edit this corner, and it's gonna mirror all the way around, so yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Let me just downscale it a bit, so it's gonna be easier to work. Whoops, and we managed to crash our box edit. Okay, there's a first time for everything. Let's see how much stuff we managed to save actually. Okay, the moment of truth. Okay, so our bridge is fine. We also have our sphere duplicated, but it's not. Okay, made it smaller. Okay, not too horrible, I think. Let's save it now. Okay, and also let's mirror everything. Okay. So this here, let's just. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. And now if we do this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We basically double. Oh, hello Andy. I hope you're enjoying the stream, or if you just joined in, we're making a bridge. You'll see it soon, once we finish making this. What did we call it again? Sphere. It's a sphere, right? Okay. Even if we put this up, it shouldn't be too horrible, right? Let me just adjust the pivot point to the center, like so. And we need to upscale it again, so we have it at 32 all the way. And now we just have to attach it to all the pillars. So create child node, it's sphere 0, and yeah, oops, let's not move our pillar, let's move our sphere. So we need to move it to 16 because our pivots on the pillars are offset a bit, and to 64, so it's like at the top. But now it's apparent we still have some work to get done, but first let's just add it to all of our pillars. So well, we'll have to do it sometime, so either we do it now or we do it later. Doesn't really matter much. So 16, 16 and 64, like so. And repeat the process 2 times. Sphere 2, 16, 16 and 64. And then for our last one, let's go ahead, create child node, sphere 3. Oh my god, I'm tired after doing 4 of them. Imagine having like a huge breach. That would be horrible. Okay. Okay, so we have our spheres attached, even though they don't really look as spheres right now. So let's make them a bit smaller. Also, let's check the number of our faces real quick. So it's 670. And I guarantee there's gonna be many more once we finish with our sphere. So let's delete this and this. And then we have to delete this as well. Wait a sec. What am I doing? Okay, so we need to delete this, and then here. That's weird. Oh, well, we would only have to delete this, right? Now I'm a bit confused. Why is this not symmetric? Oh, we should have done like so, like so. Okay. Well, no. Let's delete this. And here as well, like so. And then we can delete some more here at the top, something like this. So we have 2 at each side, like so, like so. It's not like the best sphere, but it's a start. We had like 670. Let's check it out now. 814. Okay, we didn't add as much. Let's also upscale it and check it out, what it looks like now. Well, it does look like some kind of a decoration. Not the most spherical one, but still. it's a progress. So let's delete the corners, the corners, also turn on our nice lines, and let's just do it like so here. And is that it? We need to delete one here as well. So let's see how many faces we got now. Oh, now you can see we basically doubled our faces by deleting like, I don't know, 4 blocks or something. So yeah, I don't know if that was the best idea. I mean, I don't want all of your guys' computers to lag horribly once you try to use my assets. So perhaps we can do something like this, maybe, to cover it up a bit. What else could we do? I'm trying to think now, and I don't really have many other options. Let's just try something else and we'll see. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely not spherical. So yeah, like this is the problematic part, right? We're gonna have like 1500 again. Yeah. No. We do not want as many faces. So let's see, perhaps we can do some other trick. Like doing 2, 1, 2, 2. So if we delete this, let's see how what we get out of this. If it actually helps or not. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my god. No matter what I try to do, just make it worse. So this was not acceptable, right? So we need to keep it something like this. Okay. And of course I forgot to upscale it again. I'm sorry. Okay. So these are our like decorations or spheres, and you can see like we got additional 200 faces overall just by deleting 3. Well, in one corner, so overall that's like 8. We deleted 24, and by 4, like, yeah. Math is hard, guys. Math is hard. So now we can add some highlights and shadows to this thing, and hopefully that's gonna make it look a bit more spherical. Oh, and we should totally turn off at least our z-axis mirroring. So let me just well, we can just color over them with the darker shade for the shadows. I was just a bit confused because I tried to compare this with this, which of course they are different different parts. And here we can maybe do some kind of a transition, and then let's repeat the same thing for the other side, like so. And here on the top, let's just make a nice outline, I guess, and let's add this here, and let's add this here. Okay. And perhaps we can do this as well. And now we just need to... Well, we could have mirrored everything and just colored it over with a darker shade. That actually wouldn't be too weird. But here, let's not do this. Just keep it like that. Now we need to color this in, this part, this here, and also this. So another one. Okay, and here I guess we can do some of like color blending or whatnot. And also let's try to color all this a bit darker. So we've got our... so that's the part that's like in the biggest shadow, I guess? Is that what you would call it? The biggest shadow. Okay, okay. They look quite nice now with some more details on them. And another thing we need to do is like add some stuff to our pillars. And I'm actually thinking of making them like orange or something, so we have like the spheres and the rails this golden yellowish color, and we could have pillars like some other shade that hopefully has some like brightness scales, I guess, in the color palette. Or we could even try with the red one, though this one might be a bit too... This color combination kind of... yeah, I don't know. I like it, but not in this particular kind of asset or setting. What about this one? The more orangey-ish one. I think I like this one the most, because it's quite similar, though it's not entirely the same. And we can just let's see. Now it mirrors over that side. Just add some little textures, like some imperfections in the... is this steel or what is this made of? Like plastic bridges? Yeah, I don't think so. It's probably some kind of reinforced steel or something. Sadly, I'm not an architect, like by my field of study or expertise, so I can't really tell you. And yeah, we'll see if these actually overlap a bit with the... let's check it out. They don't appear to be too problematic, at least not here. Maybe we should edit it from this view so we can see like how far we can go in each direction. And now let's just mirror over the other side or the other axis and just add some more details. This is mirroring it for them to the other side. And let's see one here, and some darker ones. Something like this. Maybe even like so. Okay. So we have like some overlap here, but since we don't have any weird colors, it should be fine, hopefully. Okay, and let's save. Lesson learned today. And for the last thing, I actually want to add, well, it's more or less finished. I just want to make these ends of the road like a bit different, because if you look at it from this way, it just looks ugly. So I know it's not nice to call somebody ugly, but I don't think these objects have feelings, so I guess it's not as bad. Okay, let's see. Let me attach it here, so we can edit the correct side. And I mean, we can of course rotate it later, and we'll do that, but just for the sake of doing it. So let's see. First move this thingy so we unlock our keyboard shortcuts. It's like a cheat code. And then we don't need this part. This is, well, let's just do it like so. That's also gonna create some faces, but what's going on here? Oh, I forgot to delete one. Okay, so one more. I guess that's enough. And then delete this one as well. And now let's color this in like so. And what do we want to do with our road? I don't think we want to do much, because if we connect multiple bridges one after the other, we want them to connect nicely, and just like delete, like overwrite some unneeded stuff. That's more or less it. Yeah, I think this looks much better now. It might be just me though, but yeah. So let's do it for the other side as well. We can just attach our road 0 here, and it's already oriented in the right way, so that's awesome. And I think this is more or less what I wanted to do for this asset. Let's see. I'm just gonna play around a little bit. So I'm just gonna add some random bright spots here at the top. Like so. Okay. And I think this is it for this asset. but why not? Because we have some other stuff we can do. So I think we can try to make something from the large human template. I still have an assignment to complete for the large human, so let's try it out and we'll see how far we get with that. I had an idea for like I don't know what you would call it, like a riot control robot or something like that. Perhaps something they used in the West world, like season 3, though they were slightly larger, I think, than the large human template. Or maybe something like what they used in the Iron Man 2, right? When they had those robotic soldiers that fought Iron Man at the end. So let's just name it Riot Robot. And that's not gonna be a skin for Blitzcrank, right? Okay. And we'll keep it up for like how long have we been going? For a good hour, so yeah, like additional 45 to 50 minutes, so we still have left. So we'll see how far we get with our Riot Robot. It's interesting that these have like really long, really long asset names, right? Also, apparently, oh my god, are these guys for real? Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't think we. Okay, let me just show you this. If we do the medium human, right? Let me just medium human. Let's save that. And if we go into, oh wait, what? Did something happen to the color palettes? Or why is this not, why are there no preset color palettes? That's really weird. Let me just check this out. Okay, so there's something weird going on with these templates. Apparently they're still using the old ones. But now I'm bamboozled a bit. What about the avatar? Let's check out the avatar. Does this template have color palettes attached to it? Because I remember, oh, this one does have them. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so basically what I would have to do is go through all of the parts and attach like color palettes to them, and unless you really want to die out of boredom, I really don't want to do that, right? So I guess yeah, I'll do that in my spare time to attach all the palettes and yeah, that's some annoying, tedious work. So let's see if okay, so I managed to copy my gun rack, which is already published on the, wait, what is, there's some animation, which is already published on the marketplace, and perhaps we can make some other stuff like guns to fill it in. So I guess we'll try to think of some new guns to put on the gun rack, and that's what we're gonna do. Since we can't, well, since I don't want you guys to die from boredom. So let's see. So we already got a sniper rifle and the M4. I'm thinking what would be interesting to make. Well, we could try to replace the scopes with like a gun or like a pistol. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So duplicated pistol base. And let me just check how wide this is. 16. Like, how wide is a gun? Like something like this. Because that's like 12 blocks or 12 voxels at max. Oh my god. Now I'm getting hiccups. As somebody's thinking of me. I wonder who. So let's see, like so. We got our pivot problem, which doesn't go away if you only turn it on and off. You actually have to move it. Yeah, we like to move it, right? Just like in the Madagascar. That's the movie, right? Well, this looks kind of old, but put it here. It's kind of long, right? Let's delete this. Let's extend it a little bit, and we can put the trigger here, and all we need is like the butt and this part. So let's adjust our pivot point to the like where our trigger would be, and let's try to position it on the shelf. So scope we can rename to pistol 3, I guess. Okay. Let's move it up a bit, over there a bit. And then we can duplicate this and name it pistol butt. I have no idea if that is what it's actually called, but yeah, who cares, right? It's just funny because it's a butt. Let's delete this and let's see now, like 5 should more or less be enough. And where do we want our pivot point to be? I think at the bottom here. And I also think we should rotate it. Wait a sec. That's not the right thing to do. Okay. I think this should be the right orientation, I hope. So let's delete this node. Let's create another child node. So but 3. Well, we might need some other butts, but wait a sec. Oh, we should move this to like a full number so it's easier. Okay. And now if we rotate it, so well, Maybe we can move it slightly inwards and rotate it. And if we just move it out of the way a bit, it actually looks quite fine. The magazine or the butt could be let's see what it looks like if we make it a bit shorter. Yeah, now it's too short, right? The butt is too small. Okay, and if we move our pivot point to like, well, not all the way here, because then we might get some weird stuff going on, but maybe like here. I guess that's pretty fine. And nicely. Okay, now all we need to do is like coloring it. So let's see. For the main barrel, it could be slightly brighter, and how? Oh, it's more like this. This is too bright. I think this is more appropriate, or even the fly. That's what it's called, a fly. Okay, and then perhaps we can do some darker dots just to make it a bit different. Yeah, I'm not too sure about these two. And also this can be slightly brighter. And also what we wanna do here is move it down just a little bit, since we're gonna color it with a darker shade, so we can have like this bottom part from the same color. Although I'm not too happy that these two grays are the same, so maybe we should use like a lighter gray for our base and then make everything else even brighter. That might not be a wrong idea here. Then just make the bottom part like slightly darker. And I forgot which gray this was. The 51. Okay. Okay. And this is the one. Fill it in. Okay. Have something like this. Now it's starting to look like something, and I'm just thinking which color I could add here to make it. And would this help? Nah. Let's see. I think this is more or less fine. I mean, there aren't really many places you can do details on such a small thing. And then this is also just 2 voxels thick, because I was thinking like making a different shade in the middle, but it's too narrow for that, so yeah, no go. So for the bottom shelf, let's see, let's delete one of those scope nodes. Let's rename this one into pistol 1, I guess. We're getting all over the place with our names, but pistol 1, and then we can duplicate this button, attach it to our pistol, and then just copy our coordinates because they're just like local ones. So 3 and -2, 3 and -2. Okay, and we got our 2 guns, which are okay, which are touching the wall at the back. And maybe we could, oh, or should they be like rotated? Oops, to like something like this. Yeah, that's a better position, but it's gonna take some effort to position it right. Or not. So -2 and 1. And how much rotation we got? 330. So let's do the same for the other one. This is 1 and -2. Is it touching here at the back? It is not. So let's put it to 4. Okay. Do the same here as well. And yeah, I was thinking if I should just put them all the way down, but I don't think they're as amazing, so that you would want to have multiple of them. Or, I mean, you have a multiple. I guess 2 is a multiple, but even more than 2. That's what I meant. There's another one here. Who cares? It's just some random stuff. Okay, we can keep the ammo cases, I guess. And then for the big guns, let's see. What can we keep and what can't we? So I think we could make like I guess kind of a modification of a Tommy gun with like oh my god, like tubular magazine. Is that what it's called? So we make it 3 by 3 by 3 and just put this to 1.5, so it's in the middle. And here our shortcuts are working just fine, which is great. Now we need to wait a sec. So we need to move it like to 0.5. And I guess we also need to, to reset our rotation on the inspector and move it to -1. And I think it could be even bigger. So no, I don't think so. It needs to be here and here. I hope so. Otherwise we're gonna have to do some rotations. So let's see here, 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 and here, like so. Okay, and we messed up something with our pivot point because we moved it in the wrong direction. Okay, and this one looks actually quite cool, if you ask me. Or maybe it could go even one further out, up to 4 to 3 maybe, like so. So there's some more space in between. Let's reset the rotation. -1 and 3. This one is also -1, okay. Reset the rotation again. -1 and 3. And reset the rotation here as well. Put it to -1 and 3. And now what I would like to do is just modify the design of the M4s so they aren't completely the same. Now how can we do that? That's a hella good question, right? One that we'll have to figure out for ourselves, unfortunately. We could do some details on this, of course. Like so. And like so. Let's see. I don't really like it as much as I thought I would, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that and let's try to figure something else. So maybe they don't have the grip here at the front, and maybe they could have like it's not really an iron sight. Well, that's the part here maybe. I was thinking more like a red dot, I guess. Though in that case it probably would need this as well, right? That's interesting. Should we get rid of this? I guess we will. Let's also extend this a little bit further. And we can make the top. Nah, that's too much. Okay, and let's get rid of all these aim nodes, right? So, I mean, the easy way would be to just delete the VXM, but we would still be left with empty nodes, so let's not do that. So the last one left standing is this one. Now we have deleted that node, and we can delete this VXM as well. And now if we go back to the rifle. We can delete this. Okay. And just so the barrel... we could add like a silencer. Yes, we can call it silencer. Silencer at the end of the barrels. So that's gonna have to be 2 by 2. Oops. We can leave it at 3, right? In the last in the length. And now let me just check out the color. Again, it's 51. I guess we're working a lot with this shade of gray today, and it even rhymes, so that's even greater. And of course we need to adjust our pivot point so it fits nicely. And if we use the color mode, everything is better. And now we just need to go to all of them and attach our silencer. So create child node, silent, what is it? Sil, S-I-L 0. Let's see. To like 20 and a half. And yeah, here we need to move it to 0.5 and here to 2.5 as well. So it's centered. And this actually looks slightly brighter, but that's not really a problem. And we can just duplicate our nodes, SIL1, attach that to this one, duplicate it again, SIL2, attach it to this one, duplicate it again, SIL3, and attach it to our last rifle. Awesome. Okay. So there's that. And maybe we can just get rid of these 2 sniper rifles. Okay. Also the magazine, the scope. That's more or less it, right? So let's also delete these nodes. And we'll just fill it up like with some more M4s and some more pistols. So sniper delete node, sniper second delete node. Could we make like an RPG launcher? Would that be something? And maybe we can put it up like here. Let me just think for a second. So let's try and make just the one more M4. So we do M44, which should, okay, it has all the nodes updated, the updated names, and now let's align it nicely with the wall. And here at the top, it's like a perfect place for a rocket launcher. Now we just need to figure out how we want to make one. So let's see. which part do I want to duplicate? Rocket launcher. Okay. And let's see. How wide is this? The base. So 2 blocks. Let's see, it could be like 48. And then, I don't know, 6 by 6. Don't really know. Let me. Maybe we can just check out some reference images in a second. Let me just Google them and. Okay. So something like this probably is what we're gonna try to make. Yeah, so you get a rough idea and you can basically judge for yourself if I manage to make something that remotely resembles it or it's just a piece of trash. Yeah, of course I don't want it to be a piece of trash, but that's for you to decide. So I guess the main barrel would be a 2x2, and also, yeah, let's just go ahead and do them 2x2. Move it up. And then at the end it needs like an exhaust, I guess is what you could call it. Let's also turn this on. Something like this. And then we need, well, we don't really need it, but we can put some decorations. Or not, we can do that later, right? Let me figure out what I want to do here. So I guess we're gonna have to go with some kind of a blend of 2 and 3x3 blocks. And let me just create the base for that. So create child node, rocket launcher. We need the handles, so create child node, handle. Handle 1 is probably taken, or not. Okay. So I'm guessing that handle 0 is also still for grabs. And we'll put it here, like so. And duplicate node to handle 0, which is also still free, probably because I used H's or something. Let me just check it. H's, yes. So I can use handle still. That's also, since we did it a bit differently, now we need to do the RL base, which is gonna be the main part of our rocket launcher. So let's see, RL base gonna have to be moved all the way up, all the way out. One down, and maybe we can put the pivot point like more in the center. We'll adjust that later. to make it like as centered as possible once we actually know how long everything's gonna have to be. Now what I want to add is like this shoulder rest or the side neck, like you put it here, I think, or no, actually you put it on your body so it's easier to aim, and then you need the forward trigger, the second one, the second part. Like here's the trigger, and behind it there's a shoulder rest. At least I think it rests on the shoulder. I could be completely wrong, but maybe, like, yeah. I think I'll have to extend it a bit further. So this can be one longer and this can be two longer. And then let's do it like so. So we have our trigger. And soon after is gonna be the head of our missile. Let's see how much. 3, 4, probably something like this. 4, 5. Okay, I guess another one doesn't hurt. And let's color it all the way. And now we'll have to do some trickery with the other stuff. So let me just duplicate this and then name this rocket head. And you'll soon see what I'm talking about. So first, let's adjust the pivot points so we can actually use our keyboard shortcuts. Okay, we can adjust our. And let's not click on the help tab, right? Or not the tab, the thingy that opens unwanted stuff up. Like so, like so. And then what we want to do is delete some of this stuff. How much? One more, and one more on this side. Maybe we can do it even like this. We'll see how this turns out. So now let's attach our RL head. What's names? Now let's. Whoops, that's the wrong asset or the wrong VXM. Okay, so this is now properly centered. Now we just need to move it down a half and move it forwards, and now we get like this nice shape. Now we could move it one more inwards, like so. And now it actually turns out that our stuff might be too much forward, since I want to do the same thing with these two at the back side as well. So let's do that. Like so. Okay, and we still need like at least one. It's the one I deleted sooner, right? So we can make a bit darker shade here, and maybe we can also add like something, I don't know if they use this to aim or whatnot, but I guess it doesn't hurt. Well, it hurts the one it's being fired at, right? That's the whole point of this fabulous piece of art. Well, it's not really art, piece of destruction maybe. We can add a scope actually. I've seen some of them use like a scope or a red dot. So we can totally do that, but before that I would like to do something similar here for the backside, because some of them used like it looks like wood because it's brown, but that's why I'm gonna call it wood. So we got some butts and some wood, but I'm not really sure if it's made out of wood, you know. I'm not a rocket launcher expert. Okay. Let's extend this a bit so it's 8, I think. Okay. And now let's just use kind of this color, this brown, and create another child node, and name this one wood. Let's add our wood to it, and yeah, the pivot point is not centered, I think. 1.5, 1.5, okay. Nope. Select the correct object, and we move this backwards a bit. Maybe like so. Okay. And then we just need to color some of this here. Something like so. And this could actually be a bit lighter. Like so. And here we can add some dark, so it's like hollow or whatnot. And this could be as well, or maybe the same shade as this one. And let's do this here as well. And then more or less all that's left is our red point, like so maybe, and then make this darker as well. I think that looks quite alright, although I would like to not rest it on the head, but whatever. Also, let's delete this and let's extend this so it's more pointy, I guess. Do we have some? Yeah, we don't have any more. I think there was some fighting, but that's fixed. Also, we can add some highlights here at the top, and since we, well, maybe we should use this as the base color, and then some highlights at the top and some shades at the bottom, just like this. And of course we're gonna have to recolor that part on the main body with a slightly lighter color, like so. Okay, and for the last thing that we want to do is just let's see, let's duplicate this red dot. I guess it's gonna be really simple. It's gonna be 4 tall and then 3 by 3. Well, actually it's gonna be, let's say, 4 long. And let's also adjust this like so. Delete this and then fill this in, put this here, and then just delete it here and here, and put in some dark red like so. Then we can attach that to our rocket launcher. So create child node, name it red dot. Attach our object to it. So then we need to make it just bit over. Let me just check. So it's somewhere like here. And now, since this part is completely covered from both sides, we can actually make it even darker to give some illusion of depth. Like so. Even better. At least in my opinion. So I think this is gonna be it for today. We've been streaming for, yeah, almost 2 hours. We've got like a minute left, so yeah, not much more we can really do here. We managed to like remake this gun rack, which is awesome, and also this bridge, and both of these assets should hopefully soon be on the Sandbox marketplace, where you can check them out for yourself. So thanks to everybody for sticking till the end. I hope you have a great day, night, morning, evening, or whatever part of the day I didn't mention, and I guess we'll see each other most likely next week. So bye.